Hello everybody and welcome back to another video with the Lecture Soul. If you're new to my channel, I'm a psychic medium, a spiritual life coach, and just a spiritual girl putting everybody on alongside a whole lot of other things. But today in this video, guys, this is going to be a part 2 to my last week's video where I was talking about the things that I learned at the beginning of my law of assumption journey. I don't even think I said that exactly. It was about learning, but more of just the things that I've noticed on my law of assumption journey at the beginning, so that I can tell you guys what or what not to do, basically what or what not to do when you are a beginner on your law of assumption journey or your conscious manifesting journey. Because I understand a lot of trials and tribulations I had to go through. Well, I didn't have to go through them, but I did, and it's totally cool. It's okay, because obviously I learned a frick ton of stuff. And with that being said, we're gonna hop right into our first point for this week's video. Okay, so what I wrote right here, I wrote in my notes so I wouldn't forget anything. It basically says, I said, going with the flow of finding what works best for you. Do not conform to others' expectations. Okay, so okay, I believe that those were actually two separate points, but they're kind of the same thing at the same time. So what I was stating here when I said going with the flow of what works best for you is that I want you guys to remember that everybody is different, okay? Something that might work with someone else might not work with you, for real, okay? Just like myself, I am not somebody who, as y'all know, I don't affirm and persist anymore. I just know that I have what I want, states basically. I know that I have what I want, it's my mindset, so I do, and that's it. But in this case in point, you know, at the beginning of my law of assumption journey, it was like basically copy and paste everything, okay? Everyone was doing the same exact thing. Every single buddy was affirming and persisting. That was it. Anything else was considered a more unpopular method, and affirming and persisting was like number one. And the whole thing with affirming and persisting is that it is a very good thing. I do definitely say, I would say that it is very helpful, it's very useful. And sorry, there's like helicopters out here, bro. There's like multiple, I don't know what is going on, but God bless the earth. It's Earth Day anyway. But yes, guys, so everyone is different. I remember for myself, I was an affirmer and persister at the beginning, especially because that's where I had to learn a lot of me basically persisting in a mindset and getting used to that, because that's what affirming and persisting is. You know, you're in a mindset, you're prepping yourself up to it, you keep on feeding that mindset, feeding it, and so it is, and that's basically the great thing about it. But the whole thing is that as time went on, I realized that affirming and persisting just wasn't for me, in the sense that I would just rather know that I have what I want instead of trying to tell myself that I do and then reminding myself that I do every single day or every single second that I think about it. Not to say though that this is not a useful tool to use, obviously. Of course it's definitely very useful. It's just, again, for myself, I had to learn to figure out that just because everyone and their mama was doing something doesn't mean that I had to do it too. It's just like everything else in this life, you know, just because people are doing certain things doesn't mean you're gonna do it too. You're just gonna do what you want to do. You're gonna figure out how it works best for you, and you're gonna go in that direction because that's what works best for you. That's what I had to learn for myself here, okay? I had to learn to understand that just because everyone else was, for example, this was like the biggest thing, okay? I remember at the beginning, everyone was talking about their desires. That was a very big thing. Everyone would talk about what they're manifesting, okay? Then they would write down a success story list of all of the things that they would manifest, and then they would talk about how they manifested each thing, and then basically things like that. Like a lot of the same formula, a lot of people would do this, and I remember I was like, I'm not gonna do that, but it would make me feel a little insecure at the start, because I felt like if I'm not doing that, does that really mean that I have what I want? You know, like, am I really proving it enough? To who? To the world? To yourself? You're the only one that you have to prove it to. You, that's it. So you doing all the other stuff is unnecessary. It's not anything that you have to do. Like, you do not have to go on the internet and share with a bunch of strangers online what you're manifesting, because if I don't do this, then I'm not elite. What the fuck that has nothing to do with anything, bro. If you want to do that, you are completely free to, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I have never ever shared something. No, I've shared things that I was manifesting, but I was never the kind of person to say I'm manifesting this and then like keep up with it with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep track of it, because I just feel like that's unnecessary, and that's not how I am anyway. I'm very private, especially online. I mean, in general I'm very private, but online, yeah, of course, you know. So that's the whole thing, guys. I want y'all to figure out what works best for you, no matter what it may be, okay? If you are a scripter, if you like to write and you've never affirmed and persist in your entire life, please feel free and continue writing. That's it. Continue doing what you've been doing, because that's what works best for you. Just like everything else, if you want to sit here and repeat affirmations to yourself on your phone, like recording it, listen to it back when you're going to sleep, and that's all you do because that works best for you. That is what I want you to do. Everything that works best for you, keep on doing it. Do not overthink it, please. Don't try to conform. Like I stated, I said, don't conform to others' expectations or trying to impress others with your manifestation either, like with your manifesting either. Okay, that was basically like the first point. As I was stating, you know, going online and telling the whole world what you're doing, unless you're totally cool with that, that's definitely very different. But I'm saying in the sense that you are looking for validation from other manifestors, from people saying, oh my god, wow, you really are a master manifester, but you only believe that because people told you. You know, that's the idea that I want y'all to steer away from. And I want y'all to remember that this is entirely about you. Everything that you're manifesting is all about you. Everything that you're putting down on your table, it's all about you. All of this is all about you. So don't make it any more difficult than it has to be by trying to weigh in other factors as well, such as other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, other people's approval. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. And besides that, being the black sheep of that, I'm not saying that you are technically a black sheep for it, but you know, it's more black sheep-ish energy where you're standing out. If you happen to stand out in that way, continue going in that direction. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like even for myself, the things that I talk about on here are very different compared to what other people are. I mean, I wouldn't really know either because I don't watch any law of assumption videos, but from what I've seen in the past, a lot of people talk about standard things with the law of assumption and, you know, a lot of rules, but not limited rules, not rules in the sense that you have to do this or you won't get it, but more of just like, you should really do this or you might not get what you want kind of thing, which I guess, I mean, kind of rules, I don't know, things like that. But for me, on the other hand, I want to make this really easy for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to simplify the fuck out of this, and obviously I wouldn't get to where I am right now, where I am talking about this as openly and freely with you guys, you know, very confidently, with high self-concept. I talk about self-concept a lot because I know that these are things that actually help people, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that other things don't. They probably definitely do, especially to the right audience, but I will say that, you see, me doing my own thing led me here, just like it will lead you in your direction as well, and you will do so much better on your own path than if you were attempting to be or do things like everyone else, you know? I'm just saying, that's totally if you feel called to it though. If you don't feel like you should change anything, you don't have to. Do whatever you want. All I'm saying though is pave your own way, be okay with that, live your best life, don't worry about the other stuff, and just know that you're still manifesting what you want, okay? Don't try to impress anybody because no one really cares that much about it. If anyone is trying to sit around and see what you manifested to see if it's impressive or not, then just know that that means that they have a low self-concept, because no one should be relying on anyone else for any kind of validation, seriously. Now, the next thing that I do want to talk about here, the next point is, I said take your freaking time because it is still done regardless. Like, seriously guys, oh my god, that is huge. Okay, I remember when I was manifesting what I wanted, a big thing that I would always think about is, when is it gonna get here? Like, how am I gonna have this? When, how, when, like literally when, bruh. I'm saying that I do, but I don't. No, do you hear yourself right now? That right there is something since the start, okay? Since you're at the very beginning, assuming that you are a beginner to the law of assumption, you're watching this part 2 after watching the first part, I want you guys to understand that you sitting here and you thinking to yourself that you have to rush and get all of these desires in, because if you don't, then what are you doing? You're out of your mind, for one. Number 2, an enormous thing that I want to point out to you guys is that you have to work with yourself as thoroughly and kindly and confidently and powerfully as possible, okay? So while you are working with yourself and while you are manifesting what you want, all that great stuff, just remind yourself that there is no race. Like, there is nothing here telling you that you have to have this done by tomorrow, and if you don't, then you can't manifest anything. Like, forget about it. Absolutely not. Y'all don't know how many times I had to start over, and I'm only saying I had to because I felt like I had to. It wasn't really because I actually had to, it was because I felt like I did. But y'all don't know how many times I would start over and over again, where I would say to myself, I had something, I would honestly start wavering a lot, or I would start working against it, start resisting it, and then right back I was like, okay, well, I guess I don't freaking have what I want after all that time that I put into it. No, we don't sit here and settle with that. So what I would do is I would just give myself a breather, and then I'd pick it right back up and keep on moving in that direction. I'd be like, nah, like, I'm not gonna stop. And on top of that, I don't need to prove to anybody that I can do this from in a certain time span, if anything, you know, especially because everyone is different. So as I was stating for myself, you know, I had a lot of inner thoughts that were messing with me, you know what I'm saying, that made me feel not confident in myself. And that right there could be a factor as to why you may feel like this is taking a little bit more time than it should. In reality, just take your time, okay? Because you're manifesting what you want regardless. Like, no matter how you feel about it, it is still done, okay? Everything that you're manifested right here in the 4D, it is still manifested for you. You just have to continue persisting in that. But just because you feel like you're steering off course for a second does not mean that you're steering off course actually. It just means that you believe that, and that's okay. But you have the power to reclaim your position at any given chance and time, okay? So if you decide, let's say you're like, we're so over, it's so over, we're so back, like immediately, we are so back. You can decide that at any given chance and time, okay? So if today it's so over, tomorrow we're so back, period. If you want to say that in a week, that we're so back in a week, fine, feel free to do that. But please do understand that there is no race while you are manifesting what you want. There's no one to prove yourself to, nothing to be special about, bitch. Like, just know that you have what you want, be confident in that, and understand that, again, this is all about you. If it's not about you, then who is it about? Nobody, because this is, again, all about you. It has to be all about you. And if you're thinking about the time put into this, and you're thinking about not impressing people and all that stuff, you are only thinking about other people when you should not be thinking about anyone other than yourself, unless, of course, your desire involves other people. But even then, this is still all about you. This is all about you, okay? It's your mindset, what you're putting into this, that's it. So please, guys, I urge y'all to take your time. If you feel inclined to, go right ahead. You can manifest something in a day, you can manifest something in a minute, you can manifest something in a month, but regardless of when it comes, it is still done the same exact second that you decide on that thing, okay? That's it. That's the whole case in point. We go right back to that. The fact that it is still done the same second that you say so, because it absolutely is. Y'all need to understand. Y'all definitely do, but it's definitely very, very, very freaking true. Now, the next point that I want to say is ignore doubters for real. Okay, and then that was, no, I actually just made a TikTok. That's what I was stating. I was thinking to myself, like, didn't I just say something like this? But no, I made a TikTok where I was stating that if someone tries to make you feel like you can't manifest what you want, just know that it doesn't freaking matter. For one, like, you should try to keep your desires more private, just in case. Not in the case that anyone could wish bad upon you or anything, because that won't ever happen to you. More of the case that you don't want to feel any kind of discouragement from anyone. You know, if someone might tell you, oh, but this, you don't want to feed into that, because you don't believe that, and you especially don't want that for yourself and for your reality. So yeah, like I stated here, I said exactly that. Be more private about your desires if you feel that people's opinions can for real rattle you. So that is basically the point, okay? So there's nothing wrong with you telling people about your desires. If you want to, feel more than free to. You can do whatever you'd like to do. That's totally okay, because everyone's different. I personally will never ever do that, because I'm just not that kind of person. I've never been that kind of person, so I won't. But the whole thing here is that you have to understand, if you're telling people what you're desiring, you have to be strong, bro. Like, if you're gonna do what you have to do and tell your siblings, your friends, your parents, people who may even have limiting beliefs, your desires, you have, it's not that you have to be ready for them to doubt you, because that's not it. What I'm gonna say instead is that you have to be ready to protect yourself no matter what. So basically, don't speak up about your desires unless you're gonna stand on business with it. Because if you're gonna say a desire to somebody like, oh, I'm manifesting my celebrity SP, and then you know that your cousin's gonna be like, are you out of your mind? Like, how the fuck are you gonna do that? And then you're gonna let it get to you? I mean, hello, you're setting yourself up for that, basically, but you don't want that. So if you're gonna tell your cousin, I'm manifesting this celebrity SP, and your cousin talks smack, you have to be strong. Like, you literally have to choose to just be like, okay, like, I don't care what you have to say. It's not you manifesting them, I'm doing it, so don't worry about it. It's already done in my favor, period. You see, that's the kind of confidence that you have to have behind it, but that's also why whenever you do speak on your desires, you have to be sure and confident that whenever you do speak on these desires, that you're gonna have enough backbone to have your own back, okay? And I'm not saying that you don't have a backbone if you feel like you are a little bit rattled by these people's opinions at all. Of course, you definitely do. But more of, if you feel like you're not going to be strong-minded enough to just stand on business with it, then please do what you have to do to redirect the conversation into something more positive for yourself, or to simply not tell people about what you're manifesting, because you don't have to, okay? That's exactly why when I wrote this, I said ignore doubters for real. It's because that is extremely true, guys. There's a lot of doubters, a lot of people in this world who don't believe in the limitless opportunities, although I will say everyone's soul definitely does. I believe that everyone's soul does believe themselves to be limitless, limitless. But the limited stuff that comes from your ego, it's when you're afraid, you know, it's when you feel like, bro, this helicopter is literally in the sky and not moving. God. Okay, sorry, the brightness. But basically, yes, okay. Everyone has a soul that is extremely strong and limitless, okay? When you have an ego, which everyone does have an ego because we are humans, though we are gods within ourselves, we're still human, you know what I'm saying? So the whole thing with egos is that it's there to protect you. The ego is not necessarily a terrible thing overall. The thing about the ego, though, is that when it gets too big, such as when your ego takes up more than half of your body, basically you're letting your ego take over you. You're not thinking with your soul, you're thinking with your ego. Doubters can really get you down, okay? And not even just that, though. Those doubters, they're thinking with their egos, so they're gonna put their egos onto your ego, and your ego may get bigger, not in a narcissistic, conceited way. I mean bigger as in more fearful, and then you might end up believing what you're hearing. You might end up believing your own limiting beliefs. You might end up believing things that you don't want to believe about yourself or your reality when you know that you deserve the most high. You know what I'm saying? So a huge thing that I had to learn since the beginning of my law of assumption journey was to stop telling people my business, which I never did, but I did learn that naturally. Like, I felt like it was a given, you know. I just knew I'm not going to tell people what I'm manifesting. I'm just going to know that I have it, and that's it. Although at the beginning I would tell a few things. Oh my god, there's 3 helicopters. They must be looking for somebody. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm right here, I'm kidding. Anyway, back to what I was saying. It's the whole fact of the matter that, yeah, you know, I used to say a little bit of a few things, like very little things, but there were things that I really wanted. So when I would tell people, I would have the mindset of, oh, if I tell them, they're probably going to make me feel better about this. You know, they're going to, what's the word? It's a certain word. They're gonna make me feel validated. They're gonna validate me and my desire. So I would tell like certain people, only very specific people that I really trusted. But even then, their opinions didn't help me, whether it was good or bad or whatever. The whole fact of the matter is that I was telling them what I was manifesting because I wanted their validation. Don't ever do that ever, whether it's a good or bad thing, you feel me, or good or bad thing, whether it's something that you want or not, or whether you're confident or not. Don't go seeking validation from anyone other than yourself, because you're the one manifesting. Like I stated, you know, of course people that love you are going to tell you you can do this, so keep on doing it. But there's also a chance that some people might tell you you can't do it. So why the F are you going to take that chance either way? I mean, either way, like whether they're, again, positive or not positive, it still leads back to you. So you have to validate yourself before they can or do. You know what I'm saying? That's also what it is to have a high self-concept. So guys, for the last point that I want to say to you guys that I think is very, very, very important here, because I feel like this makes up a huge part of everything. Yes, I did write it, okay, because I just thought it and then I was like, did I write that down? Babe, make it a major point to work on your self-concept, trust in yourself and your manifesting abilities, and have trust that your desires are already here. This is the biggest point. This right here is like my favorite thing, because I'm gonna tell y'all right freaking now, having a high self-concept, you need to go into this with a high self-concept. I'm not even stating this in the way that it's like you have to or not, like forget about manifesting. No, I'm saying if you want the easiest ride here, if you want things to be easily manifested in your highest favor, where you have confidence in yourself and you believe in yourself and you know that you can do this, go in with this starting now with a strong mindset and start working your way up that ladder, because I promise you guys, you're gonna save yourself so much time of trials, of tribulations, of doubts, of fears, of crying, of whining, of wavering, resisting, all that other BS. I'm not saying that you're gonna experience that if you don't have a high self-concept, but I'm telling y'all, it takes it all the way down, bro. If you have a high self-concept, it becomes a lot easier for you to just believe in what you're putting onto your table, because you just know that what you're putting down is exactly what you're picking up. That's it. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say here? Absolutely, yes you do. You see, right even then and there, okay? If I stated things like this years ago, I would have thought to myself, there's a chance, and this is with a lower self-concept, I would have thought to myself, there's a chance that these people might not understand what I'm saying. But right now, because I have such a high self-concept, I know that everything that I'm saying, y'all will automatically pick it up and y'all are gonna know exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm just that secure in myself. And that goes for everything else, okay? It doesn't just go for manifesting. Having a high self-concept goes for everything in this freaking life, which honestly, guys, you guys are always manifesting either way, right? So while you're doing what you do, while you're living your best life, while you're doing all of the amazing things and having what you want and manifesting it all, understand that you believing in yourself just that much, it only just, it sends it up into the sky, babe. It's all for freaking you. Just like Janet Jackson said, it's all for you, for real, because it's all for you, girl. Like, you made it happen. happen. You are the person. You see, you learning to believe and trust in yourself just that much, it's gonna lead you in such a beautiful and bright direction. But the only thing that I ask of you is that you continue, you start, first off, you start doing this and you continue working on your self-concept by uplifting yourself, talk to yourself kindly, tell yourself that everything that you want is actually achievable. Okay, if you could dream it, you can achieve it. Yeah, that quote ate down, okay? These 4th grade classrooms, those quotes on the walls, listen to them because they're all real, okay? Basically, this is all about you, my love. No matter what it is that you're gonna do, no matter what it is that you are doing, because it is already done, no matter what it is that you have planned, all of it has already manifested. And because you believe in yourself just that much, it is actually already done for you. And that right there is the best part about it. And that right there is also exactly what I've learned throughout, at the beginning, more like, at the beginning of my law of assumption journey, or I will actually say more throughout, because I didn't learn these things at the beginning. These are things I wish I knew at the beginning, which may be the title of this video. Maybe I'll title it that. Things I wish I knew at the beginning of my LOASS journey, because I'm so thankful that I've learned this much, right? But that's exactly why we are all in this together, okay? That's exactly why you're here watching me right now, why you're listening to all of the words that I'm stating to you guys, and why you're gonna take my tea, take it with you, go to the end of the finish line and understand that everything is already done in your highest favor because you said so, and that is absolutely freaking it. All right then, my love. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy that I completed this video. I really truly intend that this helicopter is not freaking loud as on the camera because I don't know what is happening, but it's okay. I don't really care about that stuff. I just intend the best, manifesting the best, and in Jesus' name, it is already done, just like that. All right then though, guys, thank y'all so much again for watching. Thank y'all. I don't know if I thanked y'all in the first place, but thank you guys so much for watching. You guys mean the world to me. Thank y'all for listening to everything that I say. Thank y'all for taking my advice. Continue doing what you're doing and believe in yourself just as much as you should, because you know that you can, you know that you should, and all that I'm stating, these are all very, very, very important facts and points. If you know anyone who is starting out with the law of assumption or is having a lot of trouble, you know, none of us have trouble, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if someone in your life that you know is consciously manifesting feels like they can, or whatever, the whole, you know how it goes down, send this video and the first part to them so that they can learn exactly what I've learned for myself, and you know, so that we can continue moving up in our brightest direction, because if not us, then who? Exactly. And with that being said, my love, all right then, I will see y'all next Thursday for another video. Thank y'all so freaking much again for watching today. May God bless y'all always. Please take care, everyone. Continue doing what you're doing and apply, listen and apply, listen and apply. Y'all got that. All right then, my love. God bless. Bye. I'm gonna tell y'all right now that if you want to make this law of assumption journey that much easier for yourself as you deserve it to be, then you have to start assuming in favor of what you want. You gotta start being strong-minded. You gotta start protecting your own peace and your own privacy. And you gotta start putting in the mental work. Not even work though. It's like literally not even work. It's just you going ham on the fact that you do have what you want. Take it easy. You know, go in, take it easy though, and understand that everything that you're stating and everything that you're putting down, again, is everything that you're picking up. So of course, why wouldn't you succeed? You're destined for success because I said so, and especially because you are applying everything that I'm telling you to apply. So of course, again, everything will always work out exactly as it is supposed to for you. And why wouldn't it? Exactly. You see, that confidence, that self-concept, which that last point, the self-concept point, is a very, very, very important point. Take it and apply it and use it. You guys got this no matter what, through and through, always, upside down, left and freaking right. Okay, guys? We got this. It's already manifested in our highest favors, in our bags, and yes, we do have that in the bag, as always. Yes, we always will. All right then though, my love, God bless y'all. Please take care, everyone. Continue doing what you're doing and take it really easy, really slow. Just do everything at your own pace, okay? Just believe me when I say though that it is definitely already manifested for you. God bless y'all again. Please take care, everyone. Bye.